We are in the land of one of the families that was affected by the Hurricane Helene, and today is the 522 days after Hurricane Helene.
522 days, and many people are still living in campers and trying to make it as best as they can in a place where the economy has gotten very destabilized, and we're just still working so hard to recover here. And so we're glad that this family is finally getting to move out of this into their new home over here.
So you can see today we are working in making the house level. Like what they are doing right now is doing the footers of this home. Later they're gonna make the house level, and from there is gonna be we're gonna be making the porch and all the other stuff that have to happen for they to move inside. Only I was thinking that it's like crazy to think 522 days of them living in the camper, and like you remember all the stories that we haven't heard from people they long like then they have to use a special paper. They have to learn a lot of different things outside in the RVs.
Very hard to live full time in a camper, particularly through the winter. Grateful that winter is almost over, and just saw another family the other day, and it's just such a struggle. And so we're grateful that this family is getting to come home, and so many of our families are at home already, and we're so glad of that. But many more that still need help and support, and it's wonderful to see this beautiful home and such a pretty place. And I'm glad that spring is coming, and spring for me feels like new life and rebirth, new beginnings and healing. And so I'm glad that this is the story for this family.
Yeah, 522 days. So
Hey, it looks great.
something that, like we were saying before, is crazy to think is like the many stories of the things then people have to learn to be able to live in the campers after they have a home. I think then, I guess what have been teaching me is like then sometimes we take for granted a lot of the things that we already have in our home. Then until disaster like this one take place is when we start learning. Then we have to be more grateful of the different things that we have. And I think that this specific family, when we find them, they was trying to rebuild this house, and was already more than 400 days, and they have probably half of the house done. And we just went to another house yesterday.
The house is super deteriorated, and just not in a good shape for anybody to live in long term. And folks get really desperate. Like you said, we were at another home yesterday that saw a lot of damage, and we're still finding folks.
Yeah, we still find a lot of people then receive like even sometimes like this house. We are very far away from the river. We are in a hill here in Asheville, and like you see it from the road, like you never imagine it can be affected by the hurricane. Only like the problem here was then a lot of water was running from the top, and the water clogged in what used to be the house, and the water started coming inside. 2 trees fell in top of the roof and make the house have a big hole in the top, and all these days raining like make the house being very muddy later on. Only it's many houses, many places that have been affected by, and like we were saying before, like it's many people and we still finding that need help, and we are trying to move the faster than we can. Only we know that it's very hard to solve all the problems. Only like the motivation came like knowing that it's one family at a time, like no less, no make it slow you pace, or no make you walk stop because all the need like you go slower, only the harder than you can, and you meet the necessities of one family, and this is the motivation that you need to do another family and later another family. Only we know there is a lot of necessity in our community too.
And we're grateful for all the people that came together to help from across the country, for all the organizations that are working. We have a lot of local organizations that are trying to lift up people. We're out here every day trying to lift families, and are joining. We join each other shoulder to shoulder in this recovery effort. We invite you to think about wherever you are. Nobody thought that we would be going through such a major disaster here, and so get prepared. And this is a time in our world where we need each other, and we believe one of the biggest ways that you can prepare for a disaster and to live your life every day is to get to know your neighbors, to build community with the people around you, to take care of each other, to know what gifts you have around you and what resources that you have amongst your neighbors, but also, you know, what are the struggles, who might be more vulnerable that lives around you, and check on each other, you know, every day, every week. And that is a part of getting ready for anything that should come, because that was really the thing that I think was such a transformative agent here in Western North Carolina, where all the people that stepped up to create this beautiful network of mutual aid and community, and it was really the glue that held everything together. And so to do that same thing in your community.
Yeah, and I guess two things then came to my mind right now is we are doing these videos because we want you to know that it's a lot of hope. If you are somebody here in Western North Carolina then haven't received help, we want you to know that we're still working on it. We still try to do our best to find you and to help more families. And the other reason that we are doing these videos too is for all these people that need hope right now. Then they think then it's only bad things happening in the world. It's a lot of good people doing a lot of amazing things in the world, so we try to amplify some of the things. Then we see some of the things that give you hope, and they give you, I guess, what we need right now is hope for the future. And this is one of the reasons that we decided to do a lot of media, to start saying to everybody, it's more good things happening all the time. Only, I guess, it's a matter of amplifying the good things that are happening.
And be about good in the world, and make this world the place that we all want it to be, a place where we all see each other, love each other, share each other's cultures, and support each other, and make a place where everybody can thrive together.